Oh yeah, I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Y'all get on in here. Let's see if we can. I appreciate you, Miss Fruitful. Let's see if we can get it right this time. Let's see if the computer wants to act right this time. All right. Let's see if we act right this time. Y'all get back in here. Matter of fact, let me make sure I put it in the group. And we back. And we back. And we back. We back. All right. All right. Let's go. All right. Again, let's get these lights back up, y'all. Appreciate y'all, man. Let's get it. All right. We was getting hated on for a second. All right, but we'll jump right into the charts. I was just trying to show love, for all the people that have been making, real good money in the market. Today was a great day for swings. It was a great day IWM. People with made honey buns, double honey buns. People had some of their biggest days today. Um, we waited though, right? I think Isaiah signaled IWM like after we got off the call. So a lot of this stuff happens, at any given moment, right? We can't always say that every day at 6:30 when we get on or 9:30 Eastern that we're going to have an immediate play. You got to be patient, right? That's like if I don't like something, I don't do it. You got to get to a point where you live your life like that. Now, if it's something that's for your well-being, like you may not like to work out all the time, but you got to do that. But when it comes to just like your preferences and stuff like that, right? If you don't like it, don't do it. If you don't see the setup, don't take it. If it's not there, do not force it. All right. There's no that is a when you really unpack that, you'll find that if you go deep enough within yourself, you'll find that there's some sort of like underlying issue there, right? There's something that may have something to do with a little bit of self sabotage. Um, it might have a little bit of something to do with some control issues, um, and it can get layers and layers deeper, right? That's for you to unpack. But if something is not appearing in the way that is best for you, it's like just think about what that's saying about yourself if you consistently take it anyway. It's almost like you're accepting less and you're okay with that. And we're not okay with that. You see what I'm saying? So if we're not seeing anything, we're not going to take it, right? I know there's people in the group, like have conversations with people all the time, sidebar conversations and stuff like that. People that may need a little bit of additional help, right? Or it just may be a bad day or whatever, right? So I'm constantly just kind of like hearing the feedback, of each of you, and what I'm noticing is like, okay, a lot of it boils down to that aspect. Y'all are great traders. Y'all know what y'all doing. Y'all got the levels down. We took profits on Google. PG in the building. What up? What up? What up? Good to see y'all. Good to see y'all. Yeah. So we got y'all know what y'all doing. The levels, y'all know all of that stuff, right? The only hurdles that you're going to run into are the hurdles like of that person in the mirror. That's it. Like once you get the skill set down, it's like okay, but now you got to face you. You gotta be able to get to a point where you can say no. That's a hard thing for a lot of people is to be like, I'm good. Saying no and I'm good is like one of the most powerful things you can ever do. Especially when something is like kind of cool, like it looked like it could be something. To just be like, you know what, I'm good. Or if something goes and like you might have missed it, to let it run, and you'd be like, I'm good. I didn't get to catch it when I wanted to catch it. Right? It's power and all of that. Adam, how you feeling, brother? George, good to see you, man. How y'all doing? Zoe, what up? Let's go. You already know. Hey, look, I need y'all to do. Come on. let's get these likes up, man. I know I logged off for a second. I know I was having some technical difficulties. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, go ahead and like this video. Go ahead and get that get this place high. You know, run up that height. You know what I'm saying? All right, we're gonna get into some charts, y'all, because I don't want to waste any more of your time. It's about 12 o'clock where I am, so we're gonna jump into how we can make some money. Okay, if you guys are new, before I get into that, I gotta lay the groundwork. Right, if you're new, right, I want you to understand that we're here every day, 11:30 to about 12:30, right, about an hour Pacific time, Eastern 2:30 to 3:30. You want to be here. You want to be absorbing the knowledge and the information. You want to be getting the levels and all of that stuff. All right, I'm giving it out. All I ask is that you like this. You know, maybe share it. You know, put somebody on, talk about it, whatever. But you're getting more than what you bargained for just by being on this live. All right. In addition to that, at some point, the people that come through this live, they graduate, right? They go on to join the family. They on the other side, and they officially join TPC. All right. So if you've been in here and you've been watching and you've been on the fence, it's like it's time to go. It's time to go make that investment in yourself. All right. Think about it like this, right? Don't think about it as like, oh, I got to go make this big investment for the year or whatever. It's like, no, like, give yourself that first month to go and prove it to yourself. Go make your money back, and you'll find that you're actually able to join the Prosperity Collective for free. Go make 150 in the market real quick with these plays that I'm literally giving you. All right, literally, you could go make. Matter of fact, today you could go make the money and then sign up for TPC. How about that? Let's make a deal. I make you money. You come join the family so that you can continue making yourself money. All right. The link is in the description of all my videos. If this, like I said, if our group resonates with you, if my energy resonates with you, if how I carry it resonates with you, it's time to go ahead and join. All right. No more procrastination. Right. This year is we trudging along. We almost in the springtime. We almost in the second quarter. All right. No more excuses. It's time to lock in. All right. Now we're gonna get straight to the charts. All right. I just had to let y'all had to remind y'all of that. All right, so yeah, Google. We took profits on Google already. I'm gonna go to the daily. So Google, it did its thing, right? Exactly what we said. 3 bar with a 2. We took it at its height. We took profits up here. It pushed down. There's a reason that I was saying start to get out of your profits here, because whenever something hits a target, it could potentially start to fall, and then it may come down to retest certain levels to get fuel to then go to the next level. But if you're not a person that wants to just wait through all of that, it's best to just take your profits off and then let it come down. And then when it starts to go back up, or it breaks out of that structure to go back up, then you can enter it, right? So Google will eventually get up here, but if you don't want to sit through it, you can always take your profits at target 1, or majority of them off, however you want to do it. All right. I have a video on targets. Right. We talked about it. It happens in real time, and this is proof. Right. It may come down and retest this fair value gap. That's not a place you want to be in if you're in calls. All right. Let's see what else we got. Nvidia. Some people took Nvidia again. Some people stayed in Nvidia. Nvidia worked out as well. Went as high as 186. Plenty of opportunity to take profit. I put that in the group as well to go ahead and start peeling profits off of that, get out of that. So again, two beautiful plays, that were discussed on live and in the Prosperity Collective. Okay. Let's see what else. MRK was on the watch list. I did not get a chance to take advantage of it, but MRK was on the. Yeah, everything's pushing down, yo. Like we got a major rejection across the board with a lot of these plays. Let me see what Hood did. Yeah, everything pretty much pushed down. On the daily, we have a lot of reversal signals. So we got a fail 2 up right now on Hood. That doesn't mean we're just going to automatically take it. I'm just saying, like, a lot of things are starting to push down. MU is one that that held pretty strong, but even that it started to reject as it got up here, close to the fair value gap. So yeah, things look very neutral. Actually, y'all, this is what I'm doing. I'm actually not going to take I'm not going to take a swing today. I'm just going to put that out there. We'll go over the levels and stuff like that. But the reason, and I'll give you setups for tomorrow. But the reason that I'm not doing it is because we got CPI. All right, so I gotta practice what I preach, and CPI is not it's not a good opportunity to swing. It's not a smart thing to do to just swing during inflation data. Like the market could go crazy tomorrow. If we get good news, let me just give you the scenarios. If we get good news on inflation, right? It's like, oh, inflation's starting to slow, whatever. That coupled with them trying to put a halt, like I think Trump just like you know try to get a ceasefire on like the oil companies over in or the infrastructure over in Iran. Telling Israel to kind of pump the brakes. That coupled with inflation that is positive could could definitely push the market up, and it could allow some of these setups to go to their second and third targets, right? If we get bad data, then I mean it's only it's only one other place it can go is down, right? So we have scenarios to the downside. Swinging something right now, and real talk, when you look across the market, it's not a ton of stuff that's like um, it's not a ton of stuff that's like even super attractive right now. Um, like I said, a lot of stuff is starting to reject a little bit. So I wouldn't recommend getting into anything. All right, I wouldn't recommend getting into anything. And again, y'all, I'm gonna keep reiterating this, right? I want to say this so many times that y'all get sick of me saying it. If it ain't there, do not take it. If you do not like it, do not take it. All right. If there is some sort of like event that we're leading up to where the market is literally sitting and waiting for this information to come out, do not go into that day like uncontrolled. And when I say uncontrolled, I mean like you're in a play. If we got information that's literally gonna take us out of some of these ranges that we've been in, and is really going to give the market direction for probably the next few weeks or possibly even months. We need to make sure that like we are going in there like just like, all right, what y'all got. Not don't listen. In life and trading, right? You can do the things that you want to do, but you cannot always inflict your will upon it because there's so many other circumstances, right? Yeah, we can have goals and bring things into our life, but you cannot inflict your will upon something that you have very little control over. But what you can do is you know what I mean? Like you can ride the wave of it, right? You can go with the momentum of where it's going and benefit from that. But you know, you trying to go against like everybody, it don't work like that. It only work like that in Detroit. You know what I'm saying? Like it don't work like that in the stock market, right? Shout out to Detroit. You know what I'm saying? But you can't it can't be you versus everybody. You feel me? He says makes sense, especially with yeah, exactly, Natalie. Yep. No bias, just exactly. You said I wasn't either. I don't trust. Yeah, nah, exactly, Liz. I don't think nobody trusts him. Like, I love your hair like that. Hey, appreciate it, Ash. Appreciate it. I just threw it up in a little extendo bun. You know what I'm saying? A little extendo. Uh, Big Sean, what's going on? Candy, Doop, how you feeling? You said that should be exactly. Hey, one, we it's like it just depends on the day, Adam. Like certain days it'll be like same amount of likes, whatever. Um, as long as everybody getting served, that's all that matters. The likes will continue to go. They'll continue to grow as they need to. People to stop gatekeeping them likes and taking the plays. One day they'll come around. All right, all right. Yeah, let's get into some other setups. Um, so Coinbase. Let's see what Coinbase is doing. Coinbase got to fail too up. So the way that I'm going to give these scenarios, y'all, is like it's going to be like, okay, the thing about inflation, right? Even if we're not in a if on the day of, like when we get news, even if we're not in a rotation of that particular sector, a lot of times you'll see like almost everything go up, right? So if we get good information and a lot of these things are already kind of holding like to the bull side, it's like they could sail to like target 3 like that. So Google, for instance, right? We already hit target 1, took profits, but we open up tomorrow. Most likely, when we open up tomorrow, is going to be some sort of like consolidated version. I doubt that there's any gap up or down when we open tomorrow. So it'll probably be somewhere around where it's at right now, or where it closes. We get good news. We'll probably go straight through this, and start making our way into this pocket right here. Right? Inflation data is, like I said, it's what everybody is sitting back and waiting for. We always are sitting and waiting back for some sort of like glimmer of hope. All right. So if the data comes in solid, and there'll usually be that initial response, and then it's almost like it's like a 3 wave is how I've noticed. It's like when people are trying to like um, digest the information, there's a move, and then like once the person finishes, there's another move, and then there's another move. Sometimes it's in the same direction, right? But sometimes it'll go like it might go bullish and then bearish and then bullish, or it might go bearish and then bullish and kind of like sit for a little bit and then go even crazier to the upside. So we just gotta wait and see, how it plans out. Um, but there's a lot of things, like I said, that are in bullish structures. Like I said, Google, um, Nvidia, like they're all rejecting today, like just at this hour, but they're up on the day, and just have rejected from their highs. Tesla is actually rejecting off of the trend line. We look, y'all. We might mess around tomorrow and get a break outside of this trend line. That's what I'd be watching for. If we get some good news and we get outside this trend line, we could see Tesla sail. Obviously, first target would be this gap, right? This fair value gap. But once it can get above 412, ooh, look at that. We got all this area right here, a little slight resistance you might run into for like a part of the day, whatever. But it's not going to want to reverse until it gets to this order block of the 431. So whenever we break out of this, this downtrend, I've been saying this for a while. This is going to be another Netflix scenario, right? So we definitely want to keep this on at the forefront of what we're watching. Again, the sentiments for everything is going to be pretty much the same, right? It's like any setup that is formed, it's not going to matter right now. We have to see what tomorrow shakes out to. All right, before I feel comfortable saying, okay, let's go for that. We had MRK on the watch list earlier. It looked like it actually went to yeah. Look, it went to the target. Yeah. We didn't catch it though. This like I think a lot of this happened like when we got off live, or maybe I wasn't paying attention to it. But it went up there and then it rejected. So MRK also worked out nicely from the watch list. Let's see what Meta's looking like. Yeah, everything looks the same, y'all. we yo, this I'm not gonna lie. This the inconsistency of this market for those who are like new trading and stuff like that. Also understand, and I've said this in the past, but like y'all are trading under one of the most difficult times to trade. and it has a lot to do with like who's in office and just like um, the newness of our economy. There's so many things that are being introduced at one time. There's AI. There's a ton of different companies within that, right? There's all the people that are in the pockets of our president, right? There's him trying to make sure that those people get what they want out of the market, right? There's so many things behind the scenes that we probably will never see, right? We got the Magnificent Seven now having zero DTEs during the week, right? So there's so many just different factors, and I'm not saying any of this to scare or to confuse. I'm just saying that this is even more reason that if you're not seeing something that is put together the way that you know what I mean, like to the I'm not gonna say to a T, but like it gotta really a lot of the stuff that you are waiting, it gotta really be there. You know what I mean? And just taking random trades or being like, oh yeah, I'm gonna catch this, like that does not fly. All right, so you took MRK, nice. How much did you get on MRK? Like percentage wise? Mark Quinn, what up, bro? He said, I never have a bias. As soon as I found out, yeah, exactly. QTZ, you gotta be able to flow with the market no matter what it's telling you, right? I don't care if it's going up, down. It's like if it picks a direction, who are you to be like, nah? Try that. Matter of fact, try it tomorrow. Let the market choose a direction, and you go in the opposite direction, and just report back to us at TPC like how that worked out for you. I really want to hear your story. Doop! Y'all hit that like button, man. It says we will check. Hold on, okay. Joy, how you feeling, Joy? Good to see you. Joy, I just want to let you know how much I appreciate you. You're such a thoughtful human being, um, and I appreciate you. Just wanted to let you know that. George said, with the strategy getting more popular, do you think the algorithms are getting better at making this happen? No, I think we're just kind of in a time right now, George. A lot of this stuff will, will kind of like shake out. Um, the fake outs are happening more frequently, I would say. Um, but again, it's just because we are in a time of like there's it there's just like I want to say this thoughtfully, mass confusion, right? There, like I said, there's so much newness that's taking place. There's a lot of like trial, right? That we're in the midst of. So it's just like over time, we're gonna start. I think things will kind of start to settle a little bit more. But when somebody just grabs a mic and they like go buy stocks or we're ending the war and knowing the power of their voice, it's like you know it's just those things can happen, and obviously like he's not doing it every single day, right? I don't want to over exaggerate it, but it's just like those things coupled with other things can just create like a very confusing market. Submitted 310 once that is filled. Nice. Okay. One contract. And you got out. You said, remember that I had to leave. Oh yeah. Did you ever get out of Nvidia, Liz? Did you see that I added you in the stock options tab, letting you know to go ahead and take profits on Nvidia because I don't think you were on when I was talking about getting out. Okay. 119. Oh, that must be on MRK. What about Nvidia? You said it's been a while. I seen damn near triple three bar on a 30-minute chart. Yeah, exact. Yeah, there's like seeing the same exact like candlestick multiple times. Like I've seen joints with 3 failed 2Ds. That is manipulation right there. When you're talking about 3 failed 2Ds, that you're talking about 3 times that it was like, okay, yeah, we not, you know what I mean? That it got sent in one direction and then back in another. You had okay, okay, perfect, perfect. All right. So let's see. Um, got a cool little bull flag right here on Spotify that's showing me. This is something to watch for tomorrow, y'all. Bull flag on Spotify after data. So that's another thing. Like make sure y'all levels are drawn, make sure y'all patterns are drawn, and then just sit back. Like sit back and wait, because like technicals are still going to be honored to an extent, even when there's like crazy stuff happening. It still has to come back to a version of like normalcy. All right, so again, we don't get crazy moves every single day, but sometimes there'll be like a crazy move, and then it will have to come back to normalcy. So um, just continue to draw your patterns. Like we got this nice bull flag right here on Spotify that's bouncing off of a fair value gap, which is a pretty cool setup. It also is an inverted head and shoulders, and the neckline has already been broken, which is where we got this series of three sequence bull candles, um, and then we got a pullback, a 3-2, right? So this could be the end of this pullback right here at the fair value gap. So if we can break out of this flag tomorrow, it may not be a bad go. All right, so somewhere around like 553 or something like that tomorrow would be nice. But again, we have to, none of what I'm saying right now is swing. Again, if you're just joining, hit that like button. Again, I'm not calling any swings today because we have CPI tomorrow, right? We have inflation data coming in, and I don't want to have anybody, just in uncharted waters like that. All right, it's a very dangerous place to be. Again, we could really just like sit back. All right, y'all go ahead and submit anything that y'all wanna see me like go over. Again, I'm giving my perspective as it relates to you know what is currently showing, but just know that we're not entering anything. All right, we're gonna keep that money in the bank. We're not giving it away at Wall Street just because you want to take a trade. All right. Also, understand this too, y'all. I go live every day, but swings are not available every single day all the time, especially in the same sector. Right? So sometimes like it's just not a it's just not gonna be there. All right. So I seen that too. You said, "Oh, I was driving. You took MRK. So you did take MRK, yeah." I love to see that a lot of y'all are taking taking the watch list plays and being clear on the levels. So you got 31 and 33%. Awesome. There we go. Getting to it. Hey, Wise, you already know. Doop. Hit it one time for me. All right, so let's see. We got snow. Let's look at snow. We got snow. Snow is right sitting in a bearish order block. So we got snow sitting in this bearish order block. Yeah, we could see it fall tomorrow and come and fill this fair value gap right here down to about 170, 170.50. Um, what I would like to see, what would be picture perfect, would be for it to open like in the green a little bit and then to fail previous day levels. That is usually, that's what you call like a failure to go higher, and then a break to the downside. It clears out previous day lows. You could at least get a move 50% into the fair value gap. So about 171.90 would be first target in that scenario. Second target would be the full closing of the fair value gap, 169.88. By that time, you should pretty much be out the trade. Um, if you do want to re-enter once it breaks and starts to, you know, close in on this next fair value gap, then obviously the next target would be 167.27, which is the top of the fair value gap. All right, again, y'all, it's important to have your stuff on. I'm gonna sound like a broken record with everything, right? Because I'm telling you what works, right? From years of trading, from years of trial and error, from years of testing. It's like you want to have these things on because they're giving you, they're literally on a silver platter telling you where it's headed, right? You're able to take profit if it's not responding the way that you want it off a certain level. So if you want to try to take this into this fair value gap and you took it from in between the fair value gaps to the start, so right, you played it from it breaking out of this fair value gap to the top of this fair value gap, you can get out and then literally just wait to see if it gains momentum going into close the fair value gap. If it starts to bounce, it may not be a good time to get in. It may not be a good place. It may be ready to retrace back up to highs. All right. So yeah, right now I don't. Um, like I said, nothing's being swung today. But what I would love to see tomorrow is like some sort of inside candle on this 2 bar, and then we break below previous days, and then we play it into the fair value gap. That would be ideal. All right, that would be ideal. Again, y'all, if y'all are just joining, man, hit that like button for me. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Right, Monday through Friday, we're going over levels. We're trying to find a swing in the market, which is why we're in here before the market closes. All right, every day may not have a beautiful setup that we're waiting for, but if you just look at our track record, we've taken so many quality setups, won so many trades, and we had a couple of losses on rug pull days. Pretty damn good record. Okay, if you want to be a part of this community, all you gotta do is just come and show up every day on live. If you want to take it a step further and join the family, that TPC, right? That pound TPC you be seeing everybody talking about, you want to hit the link in the description of any of my videos. All right? I'm trying to tell you, it is time to make that decision for yourself. Right? Stop guessing. Stop chasing. Stop doing whatever you're doing that's not getting you the results that you know that you can get. Get in here with the fam. We got plenty of room for you. We got plenty of jokes for you. We got plenty of love for you. And you're also going to learn how to really do this and make money for yourself consistently. It's something that is happening with so many people. And why would you be any different? All right? Let's jump into Meta. Let's jump into Meta. Liz love Meta. Liz love Meta. I always see her post Meta. Let's see. Yeah, Meta's in a. I say this though, y'all. So this setup right here, I will say this. I'm not gonna take it, but y'all just remember what I said. All right. If it closes like this, Meta's probably gonna go crazy tomorrow. Whenever you see, when you see a reversal like this, and then it's followed by a flat day, like this exact type of doji right here, like even Steven, like a cross, that next day is normally like a pump, right? It's normally a pump. It came back and retested the fair value gap. Yes, it didn't go higher, but this little like hold, usually leads to a pump. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Meta up at like 660 to 670 something tomorrow. Like somewhere around here, like 677. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw that again. We're waiting. We're waiting to see what is said in the Fed meeting for CPI. But if the market does start to pump, you better believe that this is going to be one of the ones that go crazy right along with it. So no super clean setup again. Like there's nothing that's like, oh, we're going to get into that. But this does have the makings for for taking off pretty crazy. Again, it broke out of this this downtrend, and it's just been consolidating. So this reversal right here, and then another like consolidation day, we could see this go crazy tomorrow. All right, so again, we'll wait back, but this is definitely something to keep your eye on if you like trading Meta. All right, appreciate all the love, y'all. We got 46 people in, 46 likes. I love it. I love it. If you haven't hit that like button, man, what you waiting on? Huh? What you waiting on? Hit it. All right, MU. Yeah, yeah. MU's rejecting off this fair value gap, so we could see a little bit of a rejection tomorrow. Like it could come down a little bit tomorrow. Um, I don't like MU again until it breaks highs. When it breaks highs, it'll go and do another leg. So I'm gonna just be patient on that. It'll be way better getting at that point, or if it comes back down to this order block like 324, I'll be interested in it. You know what I mean? If it falls back into that area, but to the upside, um, it's rejecting off the fair value gap. Again, everything's going to depend on the news that we have tomorrow. So everything I'm saying right now could be like completely like, oh no, it could be completely changed because we could go hard in either direction. All right, so after tomorrow's live will be a lot more informative in terms of like us being able to actually like take a play or at least be plotting one. All right, but yeah, Meta definitely has the potential to go. Micron definitely has um, slowdown energy right now. All right, Tesla. Yeah, we were you not here when we did Tesla Liz? I looked at Tesla already. We might have to go back and look at that one. But Tesla, all we waiting for is it to break out of that downtrend. So we got the trend line drawn on Tesla. We're just waiting for it to break out, and it could be tomorrow. Yeah, definitely put Meta on your list, Natalie. It could be an incredible one. Doop! You already know it. 1,000. Don G said UBS. Okay. Oh, you like the banking stocks? I was actually going to work for UBS when I came out of college. I did a bunch of Wall Street stuff. Like I worked for Moody's for a little bit on Wall Street. It's an Wall Street analytics company. Um, and then I eventually wound up taking a full-time gig at Grant Thornton, which is an accounting / advisory consulting firm. But yeah, I haven't seen UBS. Nobody say talk about UBS in a while. You said you watch the video. Okay, cool. I'm telling you, tell them QTZ. Where else you gonna go? And I say this like, you know how people be like, I say this in the most humblest of ways. I'm not even saying it in the most humblest of ways. People be like, and I mean this with with humility, and I say this in the most humble ways. Like, no, I'm not even doing that. Like, get your ass in here. I'm gonna be real. It's not even humble. The humblest of ways for what? Y'all get in here. You know what I mean? Like it. You'll go somewhere, and like I said, I'm not saying in the humblest of ways. I'm saying it in the realest of ways. It's like you're gonna go somewhere, and then you're gonna be like, damn, why am I here? Right? I'm not getting what I need, and I'm paying more, and I'm not getting my questions answered, and there's like a ton of people in here, and I don't need it's there's no culture in these places. We got a culture in TPC. We got a fam, right? We this is it's a slow build. I love the pace of it because it's only the real ones that's coming in, right? The tides are kind of like shifting. People need more. People want more, right? It's not just about getting caught up in the hype, y'all. If I could really get y'all to understand that, you know what I'm saying? Like hype fades. Hype is like it's literally that. You know what I mean? That's it. All right. He said that's me being humble. Yep. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, we did Tesla, Disney. Let's see. Y'all, we us us talking about French fries in the group today got me wanting French fries. I ain't gonna lie to you. You see what y'all be doing to me, man? I'm supposed to be training for this competition, and y'all talk about French fries in the group. Shame on y'all. Disney has y'all know what I'm about to do. What I'm about to do on this? What am I about to do, yo? What am I getting ready to do, yo? And we can do a few of these actually. We can do a few of them, but what am I getting ready to do? What I'm about to do on this chart right here. Before I even go over it, y'all already know what I'm getting ready to do next. Talk to me. Exactly. Exactly. The front line. All right. Gotta get that out the way. That wasn't really doing right. Yeah. And again, there's one with a slope that's not as steep. But in terms of like just like the medium term, right, or the short term, I should say, like since January, really medium term, this has been the sentiment, right? So this is the neckline from excuse me, the this double bottom formation. All right. So we bottomed out again here with this double bottom formation. When we break out of here, it will get it'll get pretty ugly. Let me look at it on the weekly too. Yeah, yeah. And look at where we're bouncing at here, right? So we're bouncing at the order block off the weekly. So yeah, when we get through here on the weekly, y'all, we got a lot of we got a lot of space. This will be a solid swing at some point. Yeah, this will be a solid swing at some point. So I do like Disney, but again, it needs to I need to see it, break to the upside right now. Right now, it has a fail to D. I mean, a fail to up. So it could possibly come down a little bit more. We'll see. It may come up here. Fill these little fair value gaps right here, and then maybe even retest this bearish order block and then push down some more. But again, the real opportunity is going to be in a break of this trend line. So again, somebody asked the other day about like are we possibly going into a bear market? Y'all, it's possible. It's possible. If we continue to get failures to recover, right? So you look at Disney, you look at a lot of stuff that's been down for since the beginning of the year. For most stuff has been on a downtrend since January. So if we don't start to recover and we continue to fail the upside on a lot of stocks, you could see a possible start of a bear market. They're the smartest people in the world, self proclaimed smartest people in the world, have a very hard time predicting a bear market because sometimes it's like, oh yeah, well when they got the inverted curve, they got the inflation reaching a certain level, they got unemployment reaching a certain level. They're like, oh, these are all factors that lead to bear markets. But one thing we've learned about this market is that like there's a such thing as new things being introduced to the market, right? We are watching, I think the craziest attempt to keep the market out of a bear market that I've ever seen. I believe that the market does need one of those, right? Bear markets are where opportunities are created. It's also where a lot of people lose money, obviously, because you got the market just like trending down for an extended period of time. But like I said, when you're winning, make sure you're putting together like a fund or a portfolio where you're just stacking money, right? For when we get into that that position, right? When we come down, when markets are down, like Apple, just the last time we had inflation. So I'll say this: inflation. I think it was with 2022. Inflation led to we had like a little miniature bear market, and Apple recovered. Apple was down like 80%. Apple recovered in like months. People ate on that, right? Um, if we go into a bear market, it could be short lived. That might be another thing that we start to see that's new about the market is we might start seeing like shorter bear markets, right? There's more, with technology, with media, there's more ways to bring us out of a bear market. The market, I want you guys to understand, is not always directly related to. Um, it's not always 100% directly related to where we currently are, which is why I think a lot of people do get confused, right? So even in like like you said, like bad economy or whatever, these numbers are slowing. A lot of times because there's so much um, information that's already out there and posted and shared, a lot of times people have already like priced some of these catastrophes or states that we're in into the market, meaning that they've already had the reaction to it, right, before it actually happened. So, by the time we do get the actual information and it's like, okay, like they're calling it something or they're saying that like this is an unemployment crisis or whatever, sometimes even after that, like you may see it go in the opposite direction of what you think because people have already kind of like responded to that and the market has already kind of like created its prices based off of that. So again, like everything is, there's a lot of things that are down right now. I don't know anything that's sitting at highs. Like if we just go through the market, like the biggest companies, like Palantir's not at highs. Um, you know, Meta's not near highs. Like most companies are at least like 15% down. Um, Target Target might be the closest thing to highs, but no, I don't even think Target is at highs. I think Target's nowhere near highs. Target fell in 2025. So there's nothing that's like near. Yeah, Netflix is trying to recover. There's nothing that's like sitting at highs, right? That's not where we are in the market. So with that being said, it's like we could come back. We could come down and start making our way into like a bearish territory, and then spend a few months there, and then recover. But you want to be prepared for it because it's going to allow you to make so much money. All right, when we are down in these stocks like down here, right? If we go into a bear market and Google is at like 200, right, 250, like or filling this gap right here like 214. Oh man, that's gonna be so significant. Or even if it comes down into like the 140s, right? All these things are possible in a bear market. It just depends on how long that lasts. So this right here being a bull market, you see the potential that it could have to the downside. All right. So just something to keep in mind. Yeah. Always be putting that money to the side. What do I think about Palantir? You said, are we getting friendly? Which, yeah, exactly. Yeah, you know what it is. That's funny. I was like, what are you talking about? Let's see. Yeah, Palantir is starting to bull flag a little bit. It's bouncing off this fair value gap right here. Again, as I mentioned, y'all, when we get above 160, 130, that's when it's a go for me. You could draw the bull flag here. I'll go ahead and draw it for you guys, and we can just watch it tomorrow when data comes out. But again, this would be a good place for it to bounce, right? It's like I said, it's at the fair value gap. Um, it made its move up over these past few days because of everything that was happening in Iran and all of that stuff. But yeah, once we can break above 160, 130, I love it. I love it from there. All right, I love it from there. Bounce off the fair value gap, a break out of the bull flag, and then it breaks above highs. I love it to come and clean up these fair value gaps up here. I love it. So 160, 130 is the level for me on Palantir. Again, I know we be wanting to get in trades. I know we be wanting to we want our favorite stocks to be working out every day, right? But the best opportunity for Palantir is going to be when it's above 160, 130. All right. He's like, we in a scare market. Are you saying scarce or scare? I guess either way it means the same thing. But we're definitely in a market that you gotta exercise caution. You know what I'm saying? And this is why I don't know if you guys have noticed. Just pay attention to those who've been here. There's some people in the group that have been here longer than others, right? A lot longer than others. Just pay attention to how we're shifting our trading habits and behaviors, right? I haven't taken a day trade in like 2 days. Like I don't think I took. Did I take one Friday? The last one I gave y'all was AMD, and I think we took that on Thursday. But I didn't take one. I didn't take one today or Friday. So it's like if y'all listen, I promise you this, right? And I'm not saying that you can't make because there are people that have taken trades and made money on their own. We want you to make money on your own. That's what this is all about. This is about teaching you to fish so you can do it, provide for your family and all that stuff. But if you find yourself having been losing quite a bit during this last month or so, I want you to ask yourself an honest question. I want you to be like, have I been over trading? Have they low key kind of been, and they've been doing this for years, and they're showing us the way. They're sitting back, kind of like, I don't know. What you know what I mean? Like that's supposed to ring an alarm in your mind to just be like, okay, let me just let me be a little bit more cautious, right? We gonna give y'all levels, we're gonna give y'all plays, we're gonna tell y'all when, where, all of that stuff. But if you're in a slump, right? The best thing to do is to slow down. The way that you figure out anything. You ever be driving? you ever, you ever be driving, right? And then you got like it's cars on both sides of you. You got the car parked over here, and then I don't know, this person in this lane that's coming towards you, they real close to the yellow lines. And you ever just like you gotta slow down a car to make sure that you like, get through there? You ever wonder why people don't just speed through there? Like when it gets tight, people don't just speed through it. I mean, you got some people, some hit and run people, I don't know. But most thinking humans, they're gonna slow down so that they can make sure that they're seeing everything that's on both sides of them, so that they can get through, no hiccup, no dents on the car, no nothing. Right? It's the same thing in this market. It's the same thing in life. When things are a little weird, you gotta slow down, brother, sister. Right? Family, you gotta slow down. You gotta be like, hold up. I can't do things the way that I normally do them because we're not in normal times. When you can say that to yourself and understand it and act on that, you find and sometimes you don't realize it because sometimes we think of it as, all right, I win money, I lose money. I make money, I lose money. No, not staying right where you are sometimes is the best thing. Right? Sometimes just like, okay, I'm no different than I was yesterday, right? I'm not worse off than I was yesterday. I'm just like kind of staying put. Even if like 3, 4, 5 days go by, you don't get no trades. Your best trade can come in a week, and now you're up, and you have the pride of being like, yo, I made it through that time without getting chewed up. I'm proud of myself. I slowed down. I peeped the scene. I was observant. You know what I'm saying? Like I made sure that like I didn't do anything hasty. Right? This is all a part of the, like becoming a masterful trader. And right now, it's just weird. It's just weird. I would love to be taking 3 trades right now, y'all. I would love to be taking 4 trades, and we just And there's some people that were able to sneak in and do that, but you gotta be honest. You're nervous as hell right now. You're not able. The trades are not those safe, smooth trades that we like right now, and that's okay, right? When you have more time on your hands, what my mom would do, like days where she wasn't busy, she would set up for days that she would be busy. Ooh, that's a bar right there. When when you're not busy, you want to set yourself up for days when you are busy. So if she wasn't busy, she knew that like on days when she was busy, she wouldn't be able to like deep clean or like, like, wash, wash clothes or do whatever. So like she would spend the day just working on that. What's the version of that for the stock market? Let me flip back to y'all because y'all see me in the corner, right? What's the version of that for the stock market? The version of that is like, yo, going back and looking in your notes, going back and reviewing, going back and like, rethinking, your journal, going back and doing some back tests, right? Going and looking at longer term setups. A lot of times we're trading during the day, so we don't even look too far to the left on our charts. But go and start, taking some time to be like, okay, if there's a chance of us going into a bear market, what are some historical levels that might be a good opportunity for me to to get in when we get there? What's a plan that I can start putting together for when the market comes down and we're faced with this this situation? How am I going to prepare for the winter that's inevitably going to come? You know what I'm saying? So this is going to start helping you see times like this as a gift, right? If every day was the same, we would be in a Truman Show movie. We'd be in a 51st Dates. We'd be, you feel what I'm saying? Like it's like there's seasons. right? And sometimes you are in a season where it's just like, yo, the getting is not amazing. And sometimes it's not like it's a long season. I'm not saying it's gonna last the whole spring, but sometimes it might be like a 2 week period where it's like, yo, you might have 3 solid trades in 2 weeks. But what else? Like what else were you able to get done to prepare for when the getting's good, and now you can really take advantage of it? Here's the thing: people don't get to take advantage of when the getting's good because when the getting's bad, they try to force it and they lose their money. So when the opportunity to get money is there, guess what? They can't take advantage of it. That is the oldest trick in the book for keeping people where they are. If you ever want to graduate, you got to be thinking about the times that you're not in when you're in certain time. You got to be thinking about that future time. Like I said, that the winter's going to come back regardless. Your retirement is going to come back regardless. You got to be preparing for that now. Like these times are there are times that are going to come inevitably, and it's like, what are you doing to participate in those things now? All right, I'm done ranting. Y'all get it. Y'all are very very intelligent people. All right. This is I'm trying to stick with a three and done rule that's been working well for me. Nice. Now you talking about three trades every day? My ultimate goal is to take no more than 2 trades. Yeah. That's solid. If it's there, you know what I mean. Like that's another thing about goals, right? It's like if you got a goal or even a rule, it's like you may have a day where 3 is not likely. You know what I mean? You might have a day where 3 is risky. And you got to be able to to identify that. Great advice. I need to chill. I'm telling you, over trading and took more people out than anything. I'm telling you what I know. And you know what's crazy? It's like there's a lot of things that are like a lot of industry is built around human psychology, right? A lot of Matter of fact, not a lot. All industries are. Everything is about you. You've been studied as a human, inside out, right? You've been studied for centuries. All industry is built on playing on your human psychology, right? Your whole life and identity. Guess what it is? It's been marketed to you. It's something that you've been seeing. So many parts of who we are have been sold to us, right? So there's so much shit that's just built around psychology. Like it's set up for you to go a certain way, right? And the way that you break from that is you gotta have a serious discipline about yourself and also an awareness, right? So again, they know that you're going to overtrade, right? Retail traders, they're easily going to be able to get you up out of there because you're treating it like a casino instead of an investment. Point blank, period. Dopamine rush. Ooh wee. Yes, I hit it again. Oh man. Yeah, let me see if I can get back in there one more time and get them for another. You know what I mean? No. No. It's never going to feel. I'm not gonna say never, but it's oftentimes not going to feel good to stop when you stop until more time goes by and you're able to fully observe yourself and see like, oh man, I really saved myself a lot of effort and money and energy. Sometimes it's not readily like so. There were a few opportunities that I saw today. I was like, damn, that would have been cool. But even years into this, I'm like, no, Sale, you gotta continue to honor because when you this is the best way to understand how to move. When you think about the times that you lost badly, what happened? That's what I'm saying. The journal is important. You'll notice that your losses have they have very consistent themes. You went beyond what you said. You wanted something to be there that wasn't really there. You chased. It's very rare. The only times that you lose when everything was there is a rug pull. Have you noticed that all of the trades that we take here on live work out unless it's a rug pull? When your losses are are usually like rug pulls, that's when you know you're taking high quality trades. And you're doing so like you're not over trading, you're not doing you're doing it in the right rhythm. Right? I asked a question in the group earlier. I was like, yo, who can start to feel the market? As you continue to do this, you're gonna start feeling when something is just like a little off. Like the other day when I was just like, hold up, man, something we got too many of the same setups. Something seemed a little off. Rug pull the next day. So you'll start to be able to understand even with your targets. I need y'all to understand this. Even with your targets, you're gonna start noticing sometimes that it's not gonna go right to your target every single time the same way. This is critical. It's not going to go to the target in the same manner. So what? Oh man, this is when you get all right. So when you get to a point when you're developing pattern recognition, right? So you are there's a lot of people, and you may not even realize that your mind is doing this. You think that the way that you won the trade the last time is going to be the same way that you win the trade this time. Even though it has the same setup, it takes on a bit of a different personality day to day in terms of how it gets there. You'll start to notice when stocks are moving a certain way, they don't make you'll start noticing like how a stock moves before it makes a certain type of move later, right? If you see something that is like having a very hard time getting over a particular target that you may have, it is always a smart thing to just say, you know what, I'm in profit. Let me just go ahead and get out fully or majority at this first target. There's no point of putting myself through that. Think about how much mental capacity you occupy by trying to like will something with your mind that you have no control over. How frustrating is that when you like, God damn. And yes, we all do it to an extent when we're in a trade. But there has to be a cutoff where you're like, okay, this is just, I'm up in this. This is way too much. I can wait for a better setup. I can wait for a better opportunity to ride the momentum or re-enter this trade. All right? It's a tip on absolutely. Um, yeah, that can happen if you, the right side of the new begins, be patient, make sure the money. Yeah, that exactly. 3 max trades per day is the limit. Yep, that FOMO is wiped out in the time. Yeah, I'm telling you. All right, Liz, be easy, enjoy. So we didn't find these setups. I just got it. Nah, what's up, Zay? We're not taking anything today. We're gonna be smart. CPIs tomorrow. It can get real ugly overnight. So we're not even going. We're not gonna force anything. We just been kind of like talking about just kind of how to stay grounded and locked in and not taking things that are that are not there. Not over trading. If you're not getting what you like, being okay with just sitting still. All right, slowing down and sitting still. That's the boring part of trading, but it's gonna be the best thing for you if you can master it. So we kind of in that period right now where it's a lot of waiting. It's a lot of hurrying up and waiting. Just like, yeah, I'm not really seeing what I love. I can risk it, but I also know that it is a bigger risk than what it would be if I just saw what I loved or saw what I liked, right? So yeah, CPI tomorrow. I think I'm not. Anybody know what time that is tomorrow? My mind has been reset here. Total turnaround, and I'm at peace with waiting on a trade. I love to hear that, Joy. I'm so happy to hear that. You said, should we cut Google? Why would we? We took profits on Google. You didn't take profits, Becca? Yeah, we took profits on Google already. I'm not even. Where's Google at? Let's see. Where's Google? Oh, yeah, Google. I mean, it's still slightly up, but yeah, we took profits like way up um, earlier in the day, Becca. So if you're still holding on to it, I'm not. I mean, it could do well, but again, we don't want to go into CPI like on a wish and a hope. You know what I'm saying? So like y'all, like Joy just said, it's like you got to really get to a point where you're at peace. Because think about it. Are you? Let me ask you a question right now. I'm gonna ask all 44 of y'all right now. Are y'all like in this very moment? Are you okay? Like, are you good? You're not in the trade right now with the market. The market's about to close. We're not about to take a trade, but are you good in this very moment right now? So if you're good in this very moment, why wouldn't you be good in the next moment, in the next moment, in the next moment, right? Without taking a trade. Why you can't just like for what I'm saying, for a couple of days, or even if it's a week, whatever, like why you can't just sit still? You know what I'm saying? These are questions like to ask yourself. No, Tip, we didn't enter MU. We're not entering any trades today because we got CPI tomorrow, so we don't want to leave anything to chance. We looked at some setups, so we'll be locked in tomorrow to see if how the market moves like after CPI or what it's doing in the morning. But it ain't no point in trying to like swing anything. So yeah, I got out of everything early. I also talked about it in the chat. Nvidia, Google, we got out of in great profit. Um, and yeah, I'm not in anything right now. I'm not in anything. I'm just waiting for tomorrow. All right. So yeah, y'all, like again, it's important to just like this is good training for you, right? Like it's like the same way that if you playing sports, there's the technical side, right, where you learn how to dribble a ball, you learn how to throw a touchdown in football or kick a ball in soccer. They also have other aspects that they train themselves on. They watch film, so your film would be like back testing and stuff like that. They also go through conditioning. This conditioning is allowing them to be able to get through the psychological aspect of that sport, right? Like they got to have their wind up, but they also got to go through the conditioning so that they can have stronger minds. So this is a version of our conditioning. This is another aspect of your trading that you just got to get good at, right? Sitting, chilling, waiting, patience. We're not here to take your money, right? Some people just gonna keep telling you the same thing over time. Oh yeah, just no. It's like this is the most important thing. Your psychology. I'm trying to tell you, the skill set is not that hard, yo. Once you know what I mean, you understand levels, you understand trend lines. No, it's you. This is why results vary. You know what I'm saying? Like getting to a point where you can just be like, all right, I'm cool, not giving up, not I'm just not going to trade and not paying attention to the market, but just being like, all right, it's not giving me what I need yet. All right, I think that we're operating out of abundance is not 100% alchemist, and the crate. You said your meditation video is gold. Helps me stay centered. That's awesome, Natalie. I'm glad that helps. Again, I got a couple of more that I'm working on that I think are going to be really aligned with where you are. I've been having a lot of conversations with you all, and I've been really trying to just like intentionally create something that I think will meet you exactly where you are. So just look out for some more of those coming out. I'm actually I'm actually like working on the beats and stuff too because I ran one of my meditation videos. I purchased the hertz, the 432 hertz frequency. but I ran into some copyright issues as it pertains to YouTube. So now I'm like, working quietly on trying to create my own like binaural beats and frequencies and stuff like that, so that we don't run into any of those issues, and they could stay on YouTube as long as possible, so that you can watch them, every day and get what you need. Um, but yeah, man, Alchemist is 100% correct. It's just like, and the crazy thing is, when you don't need, that's when you get everything, right? How funny is that? How that universe works? It's like, when you don't need, with that, once you get rid of that desperation, and you cool, like you, you, you good either way. Mm, so many blessings and opportunities flow from that. All right, so we're gonna get rid of the desperation, right? We're gonna get rid of that type of energy. We're gonna understand that like everything that we desire flows to us, so we don't gotta go out chasing, right? We will acknowledge it and be able to recognize it when it reveals itself, and we are gonna know when to take advantage. If you feel thrown off in your body, right? If you have a nervous stomach, or if anything in your body feels off when you're getting into these plays, you might want to rethink your approach to entering. Because, like I said, you should get to a point where you feel very like, okay, this was the right decision. The body be knowing what's going on with you before you do. All right, y'all. I'm about to get up out of here, man. Again, it's always love chopping it up with y'all. Um, you know, exchanging energy, sharing the wisdom. Yeah, we're gonna have a solid day tomorrow. I'm curious to see what they throw at us. Um, you have a relaxation channel. I'm gonna have to check you out, Wes. Is this particular one, or is it a different one? Is it Wise 1267, or is it a different page? But all right, I'm about to get up out of here again. Y'all be easy. Remember, invest smart so you can live free. I'm gonna see y'all in the next one. Peace.